What is up, you guys? This is All Danny Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you a version 2 or a part 2 version of the characters that cost 500 Eternity Splinters. So the reason why I made two different parts or two different versions is because not all the characters, there's 19 characters, so not all of them would be able to fit into one video. So that's why I had to separate the two. But anyways, if you want to go ahead and skip through and find your character that you're looking for, you can look down in the in the descriptions, and you can check out the characters that way, or you could just watch throughout the whole video. So hope you guys enjoy. So first up is Luke Cage. Luke Cage is a pretty tanky brawler. He can stand his own ground and do some heavy or pretty heavy melee damage. He also can make use of his combo point system that allows him to deal a little bit more damage or a lot more damage depending on how much combo points you have. He can also summon Iron Fist, Misty Knight, Colleen Wing, Jessica Jones, or he can summon all four of them, but the duration for all four of them will be a lot less. I think it'll be cut down a half, I don't recall. Like Colossus, he is a bit of a slow fighter, but I mean his damage and the use of his summons and his combo points makes up for the lack of his attack speed. So up next is Magik. Magik is a great character when it comes to versatility. She can be played as a melee summoner, ranged summoner, a pure summoner, pure melee, or even a pure ranged character. Magik has one of the strongest summon builds in the game as well. So for those of you looking for a character who relies on summons, then Magik might be the one you're looking for. The only downfall about Magik is her damage output. Her damage output is fairly decent, and it isn't all too amazing like someone like Nova or Blade or Kitty Pryde, but she can still be built to hit a lot of really nice numbers. So Moonknight is next on this list. Moonknight is basically the quote-unquote Batman of Marvel. He has a bunch of gadget-like abilities, guns that look like batarangs when you shoot, and he uses batons and a staff for melee purposes. He can also buff himself, or I believe he can buff a team, but he can buff himself to do more damage, or even have less damage or less health, but to do more damage. Moonknight can be played as either melee or ranged, but you'll more than likely benefit most from being having a ranged build. Moonknight's benefits in damage when having less health, or Moonknight benefits in damage when he has less health. So playing him can be a bit tricky for newer players, but in the end he can still dish out a whole lot of damage as long as you can sustain yourself with having at least under 50% health. So up next is the Punisher. Punisher is a great channeling character that also makes use of ammo. The ammo mechanic can sometimes be very annoying when leveling up, but once you unlock the talent to have auto reload, which should be the first talent you get at level 32, it becomes less of a hindrance. Punisher not only has the strong channeling abilities, but he also has one-shot kills that just like Scarlet Witch's, but it's only on single target, and it also won't work into trials. He also has his signature, which does amazing AoE damage, and he has a bunch of other abilities, but like I said, most of his abilities are based off of his ammo. So the next character here is Psylocke. Psylocke is one of the fastest characters on the console as of right now. She's a melee and a range-based character, but for me, I prefer her to be a melee character. She has the ability to summon projectiles or projections to attack whenever she attacks, and she also has amazing damage over time and AoE single target damage. The only downfall for her Psylocke though is she's an incredibly squishy character, but she can go into stealth to increase her survivability. Next is She-Hulk. Just like Luke Cage, she can make use of her combo point system. The higher her combo points are, the more damage she will do with her finishers. She-Hulk is also incredibly fun because she's an extremely mobile character and a really strong character as well. She-Hulk has a pretty huge variety of builds that she can make use of, so you won't have to really worry about using the same build as everyone else or being the same as anyone else. So you can pretty much make your own build and she'll just be as good as another person's build. Up next we have Star-Lord. The way Star-Lord works is he makes use of his elemental ammo and he uses it to either refill his ammo or to switch the elements of his weapons. Star-Lord is a very strong he is very strong if you can get a good rotation on him as well as getting some decent gear just like any other character would be. Star-Lord also has a few abilities that have a guaranteed brutal strike chance if that's something that you think you'd be interested in as well. If not, then you can always stick with any other build because pretty much anything works for Star-Lord just as long as you're able to keep a good rotation between your ammo loaders or your elemental ammo. Next we have Storm. Storm is by far the strongest AoE character in the game when it comes to consistent damage. She also has very high damage over time. She also uses wind, ice, and electricity. She can slow enemies, freeze enemies, knock back and pull enemies, and she can also stun them. Storm makes use of her resource called Tempest or Tempest Surge, which basically increases your damage output and deals damage over time. But Tempest also goes down when you use your abilities, and it also goes down over time. The final character that costs 500 Eternity Splinters would be Thor. Thor is, in my opinion, the hybrid king. Both his melee and range damage are both great, and he makes use of both of them for your builds. Thor makes use of Odin Force, which is his resource, and unfortunately he does require Odin Force to use his abilities, and his abilities do cost a lot of Odin Force. He has 4 abilities that can grant him Odin Force back, 3 of them giving him 100% Odin Force, 1 of them giving him 50% Odin Force. He is also a pretty squishy character as well, which is unfortunate, but his high burst AoE damage and damage over time makes him worth it. So if this video helped you out at all, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions or suggestions, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section as well. If you're still a little unsure of who to pick, you can always ask me or ask someone else down in the comment section, and me or someone else will try to help you out, give you more of an insight on that character that you're trying to choose. That's basically it. This is all day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.